Hi, my name is Jillian, and I will be doing my informative speech about hospice. So hospice provides holistic support for individuals experiencing terminal illness, as well as hospice provides support to caregivers during the bereavement period. When individuals view the word hospice, it normally has a negative connotation, as individuals immediately feel overwhelmed and sad as they associate this word with just death. However, many individuals aren't aware that hospice too is not strictly limited to those who are in the process of perishing, but also hospice is a place to help families aid a sick individual. Hospice is not always correlated with a death sentence for a person, and there's so much more that individuals need to learn about hospice and their mission that they're not aware of prior. So today I'd like to share why talking about hospice is so important to me. So I have experience learning about hospice, as sadly I had two family members my senior year of high school, my nana and my uncle, pass away at a hospice facility, and therefore I learned a lot about having an advocate and next in kin, the hospice mission, what they do for not only the ill family member but the the family members and the patient. And in addition, I recognize how wonderful and strong the hospice workers are and nurses, and discover the difference between hospice versus palliative care for an individual that's very ill. And it's important and imperative that individuals listen to the importance of hospice, because many individuals, like I mentioned prior, aren't aware of the positives that hospice can offer to both the individual in terminal illness and their families. Hospice aims to lessen, relieve, and prevent suffering so patients can take care of the business in their lives and focus their energy on their family and friends. And hospice provides individuals opportunity and means to do so safely. In addition, hospice is not always an end-all, and the majority of individuals who are not informed about hospice assume it truly is. Hospice provides both the individual who is ill and their family with a comprehensive plan, as well as respecting the patient's wishes, and it lessens the financial burden, as hospice is expenses aren't reduced significantly as well. So, to begin, comprehensive plans by hospice. The goal of hospice care is to control and reduce pain and discomfort for the patient. The family and the patient will cooperate with doctors, nurses, social care workers, pastors, numerous different types of people while they're at the facility or having hospice at home. Hospice provides family and the patients with companionship and one-on-one care for the ill individual. There is at-home hospice, and then there's the facilities. Like I mentioned, I visited the facilities for both my uncle and my nana, and it's imperative to know that in order to have hospice at home, it's important that one has a decent amount of family members, as the nurses can't be there 24/7. Like at the facilities, you have more around-the-clock care, and hospice nurses and the patient and family with either end-of-life care or just aid with one who's extremely ill is utilized in hospice. A patient can withdraw from hospice care anytime, and the patient goes on a day-by-day basis, and they have to meet criteria, however, to be enrolled in hospice and to stay in there instead of moving to, let's say, a home if you're at a facility or a rehabilitation center, etc. But normally you stay there. So for patients' wishes, individuals can now focus on spending quality time with, like I mentioned, family and friends, as well as their animals. Well, they're normally in the dying process, however, that's not always the case. The patient is in a much more peaceful and calmer environment compared to like a hospital. The patient also is no longer, let's say, doing moves from ERs to their home to hospitals. They're in one location. They're not having all this drama and unnecessary things happening to them. They're in one place, and normally there's like religious things there, such as, let's say, place to pray. Animals will come in. You can have church members come in, pray with you. Beautiful flowers. It's like more nature-esque as well. Whenever you're home, you're with your stuff and you're comfortable and you're used to that environment. So for finances, Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurances help cover hospice care. In addition, hospice receives funds from government, private insurances, donations made from the public and other corporations, and grants for these individuals who need the hospice care. And overall, in conclusion, hospice seeks to improve the ill individual's quality of life by utilizing comfort care, control of pain, and symptom management instead of continuing curative treatments. Hospice care provides patients and families with expert medical care, emotional and spiritual support, focusing on improving patient and family quality of life. The symptom management is so important and prioritized here at hospice, as well as the patient and their loved ones' mental and physical well-being during this really difficult period of time. Hospice provides the patient and family the opportunity to voice their opinions and state how they believe. And I forgot to mention, but normally in hospice you're taken off all medication, or you're on the minimum helping aid with just focusing on the quality of life left and just the comfort control. Hospice also, choosing hospice reduces a patient's hospitalizations and practicality with bathing and grooming, eating, and overall just well-being. And watching over is taken care of significantly, helping from the nurses there at the facility or at home, as well as family playing a huge role in this process. And in the future, and also just in the present day, I think it's important that individuals understand that hospice is an integral component of care for patients with advanced illness, and that although hospice, like I experienced, is scary, it has a lot of benefits for the person that is suffering and dealing with intense pain and illness during that time, and they do wonderful things for individuals. So yeah.